What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here at Beebs Gaming. Today I wanted to take the chance to talk about the upcoming NFL season and talk about what I expect out of certain teams this season. I wanted to do what I did with the college football teams yesterday and place them in like a top 10 or a power rankings, but that would take way too long to talk about every single team. I just wanted to kind of break down where each team is going to be classified going into this season. So the easiest way to do that would be to start a tier list. It's going to have the tier list will range from A tier to F tier, and we'll talk about what each tier means and talk about some teams in each tier. But that's what today's video is going to be. We'll kick it off and we'll talk about F tier to start. So starting off with the F tier, you're going to see teams that are absolute dog water and teams that are going to be competing for a number one overall draft pick. You know, I've been seeing power rankings, and you could probably put maybe 6-7 teams here, but realistically, I see about 4 teams really being the worst of the worst. I mean, the Texans, Seahawks, Jags, these are all givens. I mean, the Jags for me, it's like Trevor Lawrence isn't even playing in the preseason. So how am I going to put the Jags anywhere other than just a very bad team? And the Falcons, though, are a team that I think could make their way up to D tier before even the start of the season. I mean, they're going to have talents like Kyle Pitts, and that guy is a freak. Also, you got young stud receiver Drake London. How does Marcus Mariota take over that team? But that's the F tier for me. These are teams that are not going to be good whatsoever. Moving on, we got the D tier list. I mean, these are teams that I think that aren't going to be trash, but they're also teams that are going to be struggling to be 500 teams. I mean, I call them below average. I mean, there's some teams on here that are interesting. You got the Panthers, and how do they rebound? You know, Baker Mayfield taking over that team, maybe. The Miami Dolphins going to have Tyreek Hill. How are they going to do with Tua? I mean, there's also the team on here that I just will not speak of. You may see them with their quarterback situation at the moment. But these teams right here are teams that aren't going to be trash, but they're getting better. And they honestly may compete and be better. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these teams will see themselves up to playing like as a 500 team, even possibly a playoff team. It happens every year. You may see it this year as well. Moving on to the C tier list, I got teams here that I believe are average football teams. And they're not going to be teams that are going to go, win 12 games. They're not teams that are going to win 5 games. These are teams that are going to be average. They're going to be 500 teams that may make the playoffs barely, and they may miss the playoffs barely. You're going to see teams in here that a lot of people probably won't agree with, such as the Cincinnati Bengals or the Denver Broncos. I mean, I think that Russell Wilson, I think that Joe Burrow, those are 2 great quarterbacks. I just don't believe in the hype over in Denver, and same thing with Cincinnati. I mean, it was 1 year. If they do it this year and they prove me wrong, then that's awesome. But you're also going to see my Pittsburgh Steelers in the C tier list. I think that they have potential to be a really good team. For me personally, though, as a Steelers fan, the quarterback battle is pretty exciting, but also pretty frustrating. I see a lot of Steelers fans counting out Mason Rudolph, and the way it's looking, they may trade him, but he was never really given a shot to be a first-team quarterback sitting behind Ben. And when he played, he didn't play bad. I mean, we'll talk about this more as I make more videos because I want to talk more about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're my favorite team, and they're the team that I'll primarily focus on this season. But that's going to be the C tier list. You can see teams. These are teams that could easily be B tier list teams, but I can't put every team in the B tier list. So that's the C tier list right there. Now we're going to take a look at the B tier list. These teams are easy playoff teams in my personal opinion. Not quite your true Super Bowl contenders yet, though. There are some good teams, some teams that stand out to me. The 49ers, they're going to be good. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the quarterback room and who do they roll with. But they're going to have Deebo Samuel back. The defense is electrifying. I'm excited to watch Deebo again. I mean, last year he had a crazy good year. Can he do it again? You got the Packers. Aaron Rodgers. How can you count this guy out? He does it every single year. I'm not even a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers, but I'll tell you right now, he is really good. Also, you guys see the Tennessee Titans. I've been looking at power rankings, and they got the Titans in the middle of the league pretty much, and I'm not buying it. I mean, Derrick Henry, yeah, he got hurt last year, but Derrick Henry is still the best running back in football. And until he proves otherwise, I'm going to continue to call him that. I mean, these teams right here are teams that are so close to being Super Bowl contenders, maybe a trade piece away, but we'll see what happens with these teams, but not quite A tier list, but that's the B tier right there. And last but not least, we have the A tier list. Only 4 teams in this list, but they are all teams that, in my personal opinion, are the Super Bowl contenders, the true Super Bowl contenders. You got the Bills, Bucks, Rams, and Chiefs. Every year, these guys are going to compete for the foreseeable future, in my opinion, as long as Brady's still with Tampa. I mean, let's talk about Brady for a second. Coming back, playing another year. What can this guy not do? He's easily the greatest quarterback of all time. And speaking of great quarterbacks, all 4 of these teams have a great quarterback in common. All 4 of these teams probably have the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Not to mention the defenses are really good on all of these teams. Let's not skip over Aaron Donald. This guy is an absolute stud. In my personal opinion, number 2 though. Number 2 defensive player, because I'm not going to take him over TJ Watt. No way. But you also got to talk about Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs. I mean, he does it every single year. It's going to be exciting to see. Can he do it without Tyreek Hill though? That's a question that I have for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Can Juju possibly come in and, pick up some slack from this receiving core that's losing probably the NFL's best receiver right now? I mean, this is interesting. These are the teams that, in my personal opinion, are easily your Super Bowl contenders. They're going to be the teams that, at the end of the season, when you're thinking about who's going to go to the Super Bowl, these are the teams to beat right here. Maybe I'm wrong, though. We'll see. But that's the A-tier list right there for me. All right, that's going to cap off this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't want to sit here and bore you guys with a 15-20 minute long video of me talking about all 32 teams. So I want to just talk about, a little bit about this team and a little bit about that team, what I expect these guys will do. But I do want to apologize if you guys can hear echoing or fans in the background. I'm still trying to figure out the best solution of trying to keep this room silent so that you're not hearing the extra noise. If anybody has advice on how to fix that, I've been doing some research myself, but yeah, I'm going to continue to try and work at this and try and figure out and do better edits and stuff like that. But right now, I'm just still learning. I hope you guys enjoy the content that I'm putting out. But that's going to cap off this video. I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out. See ya.